Okay, so this is a simple composite function question. The first part is simply asking you to substitute in f of x in for g of x. So my recommendation is start with the original function. So we know that we have the g of x, and that's equal to x plus 3. And so what we're going to do is, instead of x, we're going to substitute in f of x. So in this case, f of x happens to have a value of 7 minus 2x. So this will become g of 7 minus 2x is equal to 7 minus 2x plus 3. Alright, and so obviously 7 plus 3 gives us 10. So we end up with a value for g of f of x equal to 10 minus 2x. Alright, then they're asking you to find the inverse of this function. So now that you found that the g of f of x is equal to 10 minus 2x, now they're asking you to find the inverse of g of x, which is x plus 3. So you start with g of x is equal to x plus 3. Alright, substitute in y equals x plus 3. Instead of g of x, you're going to put y. Swap these guys out. Swap the x and the y. You're going to get x equals y plus 3, and now we're just simply going to solve for y. So if I'm solving for y, this is going to become my focus. I'm going to subtract the 3 on both sides, and this will leave me a y equal to x minus 3. And now remember, this is now going to be the g of x inverse, or excuse me, the inverse of g of x, which is x minus 3. Last portion, they ask you to substitute in 5 in using both the inverse that you just found into f of x. And so we're going to start with, in this case, f of x, which is equal to 7 minus 2x. Okay, and instead we're going to plug in that x minus 3. So given the substitution. Now there are a couple of ways that this can be done. I'm going to do it the long way, where I'm simply going to substitute in the x minus 3. So you're going to end up with 7 minus 2 parentheses x minus 3. And once I distribute the 2 into both here and here, I'll end up with 7 minus 2x plus 6. So this will give me 13 minus 2x. And then the last step to take is to substitute in the value, which they're telling us to substitute in the 5. So I'm going to substitute in 5 in for x. This is going to yield me 13 minus 2, and then times the 5. And so therefore my final answer here should be 3. And that's it for that question.